Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jersey and we are back with build video and our first one for Grounded 2. And I can't wait to build so many more build videos for this game. But the first thing that we're doing is showcasing, because what you see on the thumbnail is very different from this. This is my normal gameplay that we're doing on stream, and this is the survival one, right? So I was recording this build and I was doing this. I wanted to do a little started storage area base, and guess what? All my video wasn't working. It corrupted, didn't want to go, and I was like, oh my goodness. But I wanted to show you because this is the initial inspiration. This is what you're gonna see on stream, but what you see on the thumbnail, we ended up doing it in creative because I was not gonna just do all of this again in the survival mode. So we are gonna go into creative and gonna go through all the steps, and we did a little tweaking, right? Because now I knew what I wanted, how to do it, and we ended up with something even more different, especially in the front. The home actually came out a little more centered the way it needed to be. We got a different type of stairs layout, and we got all the other stuff for the storage system. So what I did over here, I took a little more time, and hopefully you can see where I put the first mark of the little grass. Now this is all for early started game. Even though I'm in creative mode, I still want to keep it just like I've been doing in my normal survival playthrough. So I only use the items that I have on lock. So, but it was so fun building in creative. I can see why people love it, but we're still in the survival. But for this video purposes, I went ahead and I redid the home here in creator. But the first thing that I did as an approach, I tried to kind of imitate it the same way that I did it in survival. But of course it's greater, so we can get instant stuff, a little less of a grind. But as you can see, I did the border around the first. I want to make sure that I got the structure the way that I want to, and then I started adding the floor and foundation, and then we went ahead, extended it one, and then we're gonna ended up extending it a second time. So because as I was working, I felt like the balcony area was a little too small, so I wanted to extend that a little bit more and just keep kind of having the right proper room, because I wanted just to feel comfortable when I went into the building and walking around it, and not make it feel very small and tiny, especially when you have 4 people. I wanted to be comfortable always, so it's easier to play when we're doing all this multiplayer. Now, as you can see over here, I'm doing a lot of the corner triangle pieces right here. This will attach, and this is how you get this. Now, for some reason, sometimes the game is not giving me the combination that I want, so I had to like delete some pieces, add something, a wall or a square, and then it register, and then it can still do it. It's a little finicky sometimes. Maybe they'll continue to work it, but overall it's still a very good system, and I really love building in Grounded 2, and I can't wait to get a little more elaborate on the build so we can start creating even more amazing things. Now, once again, I wanted this build to be all done. This is a simple storage area, but not just in the sense that it's simple, but I wanted to have a little more of a design, something more to look at than just like rectangle or just your normal type of roofing. I wanted something different, something that just to get my inspiration going for future builds that we're gonna do here. And as you can see, we're building everything with grass because up to right now, that's all I have unlocked in survival. So that's what we're using. Now, some of the places here is interesting because, again, we're experimenting, we're learning. In some area, it will clip into specific rocks. In other areas, it will not do it. And then, but if you use a different piece, you can almost fill the gap. But again, it's interesting because it lets you do in one areas and not the others. Okay, so now that we have the foundation and we got the middle piece and everything is embedded into the rock, because that is something that I like. We didn't have to do that, and you don't have to do that, but I like to make my builds feel a little more realistic. make them feel dumb, make them feel like they got these extra supports. It just looks more impressive in many ways, and that is something that I like in my own style. So something over here that I did is using the grass blades. And now eventually we will have like pillars in the game, but of course I haven't unlocked them, so I didn't want to do it, because again, this is supposed to be for the early start of the game, right? And to get inspiration, get us going, have something good, especially for storage as you're collecting all this stuff. And I wanted a place where you can put a lot of storage, right? Not just a little bit. Yes, it's gonna take a few, we gotta get those acorns and just do a little more sap runs, and I almost got it all done in my survival. Now if you have a team, if you got 2-3 more players, it's gonna be even better doing those things, and you're gonna collect it quicker, and you're gonna be able to do this type of builds. But in creative, you just get it, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. But again, there's something about also doing it in survival, because you have this satisfaction of building something by collecting the stuff. It's really great. But at the same time, I kind of like this, build something in survival and then bring it into creative, and just to kind of rebuild it, and then maybe you can tweak it, because you get the freedom to kind of tweak it a little more. So I kind of like having the both files now. But as you can see over here, now we're making the little shelving area. Now this is something different than compared with that day in my survival one. In my survival one, the way it came out, I had it a little more in an angle, so the way the windows came in, it wasn't exactly the way that I want to. Now this one, they actually came out the way that I wanted to, and I left the whole border this time in the middle and have like this beautiful gap. And then we're gonna put the shelving. Now when you go into the side, there may be better pieces eventually to do this, but I had to actually use the triangle in the walls that are going sideways, so we can have the shelf. So that means that this particular shelf is a little more forward compared when you use the grass floor on the other one. Now over here, again, this is all something that I want to do in survival, and we're gonna do it. But now that I knew what I wanted, I did it here in creator, and we made a side door that's gonna take us to on the side where whatever equipment you want to put there, you can actually do it. Now something that I do want, and I kind of want to plan, is to actually do a kind of full base. If you ever seen my Power World videos, you kind of develop like a full base area depending on the update and the scenario. And I want to do a full complete kind of like simple base in the beginning, with your housing, with your storage for your ants and all that stuff, and kind of build that around it. So hopefully we're gonna make that happen too. But as you can see, we're gonna put all the storage. Now this build, it is meant for storage and your crafting and anything like that. And since you can build from storage if your crafting section is closed, then this will take a lot of advantage of that. Now something that I did on that side though, I also did kind of like a cubicle, because the idea here is to have a lot of chests, so you can really organize it the way you want. Now over here, just to add a little indentation, just to have a little bit of depth and stuff like that, I went and added like this little long wall and doing it on the side. Again, one of the reasons that I'm doing this, because it's the only way this wall will work. You can't just go sideways, because the only one sideways that will work is the half one won't work, but only the long one. So either way, I still like the feel, and we just kind of make something. And then eventually in decoration, you can put something out there just to decorate it. You can put some of the plushie, anything that you want, just kind of in those little corner, and bring a little more into the build. Now as you can see, we're building another shelf on the top. Now on the top shelf, right, you can put right there like your plushies, your collectible, anything that you're gaining. You can put even more chests if you want up there too, and just kind of make it as you go. You can put something to represent what's in this section. You can have a section for spiders, you can have a section for your ants, for all the class of ant. You can have another class. We have a lot of chests, and you can use that top shelf to also mount and stuff like that, and kind of that will give you a little classification. So when you go in and you look, oh, there's the ladybug, bam, any chest underneath the ladybug is going to be for the ladybug stuff. And so the ideas are there. It's going to be up to you. Now what we're doing on the roofing here, we're doing just the normal one on the side where everything is straight, and then on the angles we're using the corner piece, the one that is a little, not the flat one, but the little that it bends a little bit more. And then we're gonna do that again and again, and in the very top you're gonna have the pointy part. Now if you don't want the pointy part and you're doing the survival, you can keep it flat if you want, but if you keep it flat, it's just, I feel like it's just a little sad and kind of a little empty. It just doesn't feel right. So what I went ahead and I did it here. Now in the survival one that I did, I kind of had it flat, and then I was like, no. And then I went on a big old grind to get it done, and it looks really good. So that's why we brought it over here. Now over here in this corner pieces, they kind of stand out, but I don't like that you can see the opening underneath it. So I went ahead and added the clover over here underneath. This is just kind of a little flat, especially if you're doing a flat roof, and it works great. It makes it look more beautiful, and it just makes it feel a little more finished. And again, we're using pieces that all of this you can find in this area. That a lot of us are building our first initial bases right here, right in the beginning of the game. It is so great. You can find food, you can buy, you can get all your resources. There's not too much danger, so this is really good area. You got the little tunnels, so where you can go, you analyze and all that stuff, where you can buy your science and keep buying your upgrade. So this little area I seen a lot of people build, and I was like, you know what, this is perfect, because you can get all your grass, all your stems, all your clover, and your sap, and your clay, and there is so many things. You can get your pebbles, and all of that stuff is what you unlock early on in the game, and you can make it work right over here. Now there are better lights in the game, but this is the one that I have unlocked on survival, so I went ahead and added it here. The same light, we're using the same one. Eventually we can upgrade that and make it look better, but then again, by the time we finish this base and using this type, we're gonna unlock all the other stuff in survival. And once we do that, we're gonna find hopefully another spot where we're gonna make even a cooler base and ideas and add more details, and depending what we get, we're gonna push it forward. Now on the wall over here, now you can do two choices. You can put all the crafting right in the middle. That is an option if you want. I kind of want to be able to walk in and see everything around me. So what I did is that wall that when you come in, and the one in the back, that I just put in right there, the crafting bench and the armor upgrade station for your weapons and your armor. So I put it right next to it. Something that I unlocked in survival has been the spinning wheel. We do have the water catcher. We do have to make your leather, all that stuff. All of that I've been adding into this build, and then I will add the other stuff as we keep unlocking in survival. Then I will add it in the creative mode. So I'm kind of gotta keep like two files, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay, so over here, as you can see, I'm expanding the walkway, because it just felt too close, and I want to able to put in a little fencing, and I want to be able to walk around nice. So I only did it halfway. I didn't do it all the way in the back into, I know for sure that I really want to expand it in the back. Maybe I don't, and so I'm just keeping it up to here, because at least here, this area we're gonna use. Now I have a couple ideas brewing in my mind. How do I want to go from here? I'm thinking maybe some type of bridge system, so kind of connecting the lands and stuff like that. Maybe making some gates so other bugs can get in. Just kind of ideas like that are kind of marinating in my head, and hopefully we're gonna bring it over here to make kind of like a connected base. Not that the base is just one building, but it's a few more buildings connecting into the area. Especially you want to have your home and your relaxation area and stuff like that. And then maybe a little cooking building with a little bit of storage. I kind of want to build something like that, because I think that'd be really cool. Now, something else that I wanted to do here is doing the stairs, right? I want to be able to get up here nicely, but not be able to let all the bugs kind of walk in. So, and then kind of figure out the stair. I went through many different versions, one on the side, one like this, one just straight down. The one straight down, I didn't like it. It just didn't feel right, but you could do it that way. Again, it's gonna be up to you what version of the stuff you like. You know, everybody has different tastes, so you may like something different. But what I like about this one, I kind of went both sideways, and then it gave us this little underneath underneath area. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna kind of enclose it, and this is gonna be where we're gonna catch the water, because that is something that when you coming back to your base or all that stuff, or you wake up and you need water, you need an easy access. Maybe you wanna just come back over here, grab water, and keep going. So I figure in this area will be really cool. One thing that I realized is how tall the thing is. So even though we did a lot of the work, we actually enclosed it. We kind of opened it up more and left it there. But again, here you could do a lot of different things. You can do a little room. You can do the sleeping area, quarters down here temporarily. You can do even a cooking kitchen area right here if you already got a couple things unlocked. You can do it right here if you're unlocking that in the early game. I don't think I have unlocked that in my survival playthrough. We'll check the next time that I'm on stream and streaming that. But I don't think I have the actual like kitchen. I think I still using the campfire and stuff like that. I have to check, so we'll see that soon. But you see how tall this is, so I wanted to kind of make it nice. I like the little border, but then when you kind of back out, it looks really nice. Now, something that I wanted to do down here, it just felt a little plain, so I kind of added this border to go around over here and kind of little expanded over here. Then we're going to put the fencing, but the border I kind of like. I didn't brought it all the way down into the ground. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but I kind of want to make it feel like a deck, you know, when you see those decks in the patios, in the houses, and you know, it's only a little bit, and then the rest you can see on the ground. So that is something that was my approach. That was the idea. So then I make with the grass again, I make kind of like fake pillars of grass to kind of give it support. So also it will give it this nicer look that will work together and just make it more sense, at least for me in my brain. So instead of having just this floating just deck in the air, even though it's working, right? It just feels better to me if I have like a little pillar, a little support over here and doing that. And that is something that I went ahead and did, and I like it more. And since I liked it, I added in kind of in the other two sides of the upstairs decking where we have the expansion, and I have that, and I think it looks really cool, especially when you walking by it. Now, it may not be for everyone, and again, when you see this, when you get the ideas, maybe you only like the initial part on the top, maybe you come up with a whole different stair system, but over here, this is where I'm gonna add kind of another little column. Again, this may not be for you. I like it. It just makes it feel a little more robust and more like base feel. But again, this part I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be for everybody. So but I added it because I just felt like it looked really cool, and it just made it feel very robust. And we did that in that side, then we did it also in this side over here where we did it also, so it just feels nice. So we added the other piece that we have unlocked, and then this is the look. This is our initial first simple storage building here in Grounded in the early part of the game, using the early materials that you can find in survival. So if you're a person that's doing survival and you want something nicer in this area and that can work for you, and it's just, you know, something to look at, and then you grab this inspiration and you tweak it, you know, feel free to tweak it and make it even more your own. So, and then, you know, have fun with it, just play with it. But to me, I like it. I just feel like it's almost like a little cottage. I like all the green. I like that it's blending with all the grass all around it, and that is something that it is different that I need to think about when you're building, because this grass will respawn again in the areas that you build. So to me, that's very interesting. And when I'm thinking, if I'm building and I'm seeing the land before I start taking materials, I'm going to notice this is going to grow here, or this is going to grow here. And it's something really cool to kind of keep an eye on. Now, see, I like how these pillars feel. You see how big they are. They just feel robust. They feel like very, very just base-like, right? And we got some right back over there. We're seeing everything, and you see the grass and everything. Now, the stairs, I didn't make it touch the ground because I've been told during the streams that if the stairs are touching then on the ground, then it's going to be a lot easier for the animals. But for us, it's just one little jump, and we get up here and we get it. Now, as you can see, this is where we're gonna get all our water. So if you come to the base, you need it real quick, you get it over here. Now, is this base here is a little too close to the middle section, you can actually push everything back just a tad more compared with when we started. So that way, if you like everything that we did with the stairs, then you can do it. Now, you don't have to do the stair system. You can come up with your own stair system, and it might be better. And if you do, tag me anywhere at GerseGames. I will see it. I would love to see it because I think it'd be really cool. But as you can see, we get to the top over here. We got like a little roof, like little extra extension here. I just pretend like it's raining. It's like, you know, we're covered. But then we enter, and now we have our crafting storage room area. And I really like the way this feels. We got the spinning wheel, we got all the chests. And then I was recording this, I noticed that I forgot to put chests on this side over here on the bottom. I'll get that taken care of. But the idea is to have all of this, and then you can also have, like, you can put armor here, you can do a lot of different things, you know. And maybe you don't need all these chests and you will have room for other stuff. Maybe you want to put everything, the cooking, the crafting, everything in one of these buildings, and you can do it too. You can see how better the walkways feel on the side now. It's just a little more wider, just feels more open. The third shelves, we haven't put anything over there yet, but we got that other shelf on the top, so whatever we need to do, we have the room for it. And then on the side over here on the windows, we added again a little extension of the roof just to give it a little something to look at, right? I just feel like it looks a little bit nicer when we do it like that. But I really like the way this came out, especially getting the feel, getting used to it, and getting to learn how to build in Grounded. And I really enjoyed it as my first attempt, and I can't wait to do more. But guys, I do want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, more build videos of Grounded, and I'll see you all on the next one. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.